Hey everyone, Elle Duncan, Tony Collins with the best insider in the NBA, Adrian Wojnarowski, the man who broke the news that the Kawhi Leonard sweepstakes are over.
We're finally over. Tony, Kawhi Leonard had the world holding its breath, and when finally made a choice, it would turn out things escalated really, really quickly. And Adrian Wojnarowski, the man that broke us this news. How did this deal come together?
Well, the Clippers had always...
Best love on right now. People just saying you are the man, and you certainly orchestrated something pretty fantastic. Adrian Wojnarowski is obviously hanging with us all day to continue to break down.
Well, time for your half-hour headlines. In case you missed it, NBA free agency kicked off with a flurry of moves that definitely shifted the balance of power in the league.
It did, Tony. Maybe for the first time in the history of New York City, off-Broadway, a bigger destination than its counterpart, because the glitz and... All right, so when the Knicks lost out on the Zion sweepstakes, Stephen A. Smith lost it in what was a display of the best of what super fandom brings. And then the Knicks, who you may notice weren't mentioned in any of those deals that we just talked about, totally whiffed on free agency. And like a girl dressed for prom, waiting curbside for a date that's never going to show up, Stephen A. back in full-on meltdown mode. You know it's real when he closes his eyes and says something. So the Knicks, they failed to make a splash in free agency again. But their failure is nothing new. But this feels like piling on. Since making the 1999 NBA Finals, they have the worst winning percentage in the league. They've missed the playoffs 14 times. And they have just 3 playoff series wins. But they were picked to win the Vegas Summer League, so yeah, sounds great. Dallas Cowboys caught a huge break this week with the NFL announcing that Ezekiel Elliott would not face discipline for a May incident in Vegas that saw the star running back briefly detained after running into a security guard at a music festival. The league said after a thorough investigation and Elliott's contrition that Commissioner Goodell deemed he had not violated the personal conduct policy. First team since the 2004 Athletics to do it.
And that is your week in review.
Of it in our work pod today set off a barrage of favorite lines. By the way, to everyone listening in the control room, the correct answer is everything Roger Dorn says. It was out of my reach. What did you want me to do? Die for it? So, but here's the caveat to walking down memory lane. It is celebrating its 30th anniversary, and I know that's crazy. But Gene Wojciechowski explains in this SportsCenter feature presented by Marriott that while baseball's current All-Stars invade Cleveland this week, the real Cleveland Stars remained a band of baseball misfits that have stood the test of time. You may remember that there were actually 2 sequels to Major League, but Bob Uecker says it's not even close. Players and fans recite the original by heart. And here's one last fun fact for you. Current Indians manager and former Indians player Terry Francona not only loves the movie, he was actually in the movie. He was playing for the Indians in 1988, and they filmed some night scenes.
All right, time for our minor league promotion of the week. And it is from the Asheville Tourist, who will wear these groovy uniforms Thursday versus the Greenville Drive. The name Hippies was not meant to be a compliment.
It was not meant to be a compliment at all. So a few years ago, here's the deal.
Season series would have to wear either a Hippies or Rednecks jersey.
So the teams actually split the series, but the Tourists honored the bet. They've played as the Hippies since 2017. It's one of their most popular promotions, but the Drive have not honored the bet and wore redneck shirts. Can't imagine why. A treasure trove of first-round draft picks, if you will. Our front office insider, Bobby Marks, is joining us now to continue to break down what was a crazy, crazy story that we had overnight. So let's take a look now how the Clippers are currently composed with the additions of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
Well, we took out Shai Gilgeous.
Because this is a team that, like, let's not forget, had the Warriors sweating, and they did that in the playoffs this year without a star in their team. Now they add 2 of the biggest stars in the NBA. Okay, to the victor go the spoils. To the losers, that would be the Lakers in this situation. They're on now to plan B. Danny Green quickly signed after they found out they weren't going to get Kawhi Leonard. They also locked down JaVale McGee and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So what does their roster look like right now?
Well, the $32 million was the number that we've been talking about ever since the Anthony Davis trade. It was either going to go towards Kawhi Leonard or it was going to be able to split amongst their players. And when we look at it, see, here is your plan.
Not then. Which of these 2 rosters makes them a better contender, the Lakers or the Clippers?
The Clippers.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And when you look at the ability to get Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and still have your depth, I'm not sure where this roster is going right now, so I'm good.
And then they added 2 of the best two-way players in the entire league in the last 24 hours. It's been crazy. Bobby Marks hanging out with us all day. First, worst in baseball. Serenity now is one way to put it.
And speaking of the Phillies, our second minor league promotion of the week is part 2 and a tribute to the Keystone State, Pennsylvania. And it comes with a vocabulary lesson. Tonight, the Lee Valley Iron Pigs will play as the Philly John.
Okay, no need to go to the Urban Dictionary. We can you look it up.
Yeah, okay. And because it's a true tribute to Philly, the Fanatic, of course, will be there.
Let's get it. They got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. That conversation continues right now. Jay Harris and Jen Latta with more on a huge NBA night.